everyone. Tonight seemed like the perfect opportunity to give you all a bunch of excuses in preparation for Saturday, because I'm gonna need them. And I'm hoping I get a lot of excuses out there and you buy each and every single one of them, because I'm gonna need a lot of help and sympathy for Saturday. I'm not prepared. Not at all. So for those of you who don't know, Saturday is the official end of Grey Wolf Fitness's Cable Transformation Challenge. This was a challenge that he came up with because he was sick of hearing people bash older individuals, in particular men over 45, that they could not get in any good shape without having a lot of performance-enhancing drugs. So the challenge was simple. Be over 45, 6 months to look like Cable, no drugs. I'm not over 45. I'm not officially part of the Cable Challenge, but I really liked this idea. I've been needing something to help me stick to cutting weight, and I thought, you know what? I'm not going to do Cable, but I'm going to do like a superhero challenge along with this to try and look like a superhero. So that's coming up on Saturday. You will finally see the superhero that I wanted to look like. Hopefully I get a little bit close. I don't think it's going to be close at all. But Saturday after that, I'm going to put a warning in the movie because there's going to be some deeply disturbing footage. I cannot express this enough. Don't watch after the warning. Because, basically I'm going to be posing in bodybuilding tanner, that stuff that makes you look really dark brown, and taking pictures. So that's not good. Unfortunately, my wife did find bodybuilding tanner, and now I have no excuse to not do it. And I feel like I got tricked. I don't know where all this stuff came from, but I said I was going to do it, and now I deeply regret everything that I agreed to. This is a bad idea. I should not have done it at all. But that video is going to have the superhero that I wanted to look like, kind of like the whole progress over the 6 months, and then the posing. But today is all about the excuses. So I want to get started. My November 1st kind of check-in, weigh-in and everything was going great. I had every month been within half a pound of my target weight for that month. Everything was going good. Workouts were going good. Weight was coming off. I was starting to see some improvement. Then everything fell apart and went to crap. Okay, so early November, I got a rheumatoid arthritis flare in the shoulder. I mentioned this in my last video. I had a week of immunosuppressant to get my immune system to stop attacking my joints. Then I got sick. I'm still coughing very badly. It gets really difficult to breathe, and I haven't been able to work out a whole lot. So like 2 weeks went badly. I gained some weight back. I wasn't able to get in the gym. I hurt my foot, so all the walking on the treadmill was gone, and things were just going badly. Then last week, I was finally starting to get back on track, and I had a really bad pain that it was in my my man parts, I guess. Trying to keep this PG. And it was going into my abdomen, so it felt like somebody had hit me really hard, and it was making it difficult to walk, to sit, and everything. It lasted 2 days, and I was kind of getting concerned. I was talking to my wife, well, maybe I should go see a doctor because I don't know what's going on. And suddenly my vision, a half hour after I talked to her, went black. So I couldn't see my computer. It lasted about 5 minutes. It was black in this eye. It was going in and out. Could not figure out what was going on. I went to go get food on the drive. It happened again. When I was standing in line, it happened again. And I started thinking to myself, okay, could it be my new RA medicine? This is about the time that it starts building up in your system, so it's taking effect. And the list of side effects in this medicine is crazy. I honestly don't know if RA or the medicine is worse. I've been told RA is worse, so I'm dealing with this medicine. But I kind of freaked out because I thought, okay, well, wait a minute. What's going on down below could be something related to blood. The eye, looking at this, it could be related to blood. The medicine can cause blood disease and stuff. I'm going to go see my doctor. I went to my doctor. He checked me out. He said, nothing was wrong down there. So I'm pretty sure Brooke got mad at me. I must have been snoring and just punched me right in the region. And I just didn't wake up. But he told me the eye had nothing to do with that. He didn't think it was the medicine, and that I should go to the hospital and have a test. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, that seems a little bit unnecessary. And he's talking about, well, it could be a stroke, it could be a heart attack, could be, something's broken, it could be a tumor, cancer, blah, blah. And I'm not worried about any of that stuff. I thought it had something to do with my medicine and what else was going on, or else I wouldn't have went to the doctor. But he said, all I want you to do is go get this test. This is where I was stupid, and if you live in America and you have health insurance, be careful. Yeah. So I went to the hospital, and I'm like, okay, I'm just here. They want me to have a test because my vision kind of went black, and it basically, I kind of figured out it was this bottom right part. So kind of the peripheral vision was going black periodically. And throughout the day, it happened less frequently and lasted less time. This was about 3:30 in the afternoon. And they're like, okay. So they took my vitals and stuff about 7 p.m. And then they finally got me in. So I'd been there for 4-ish hours before they took me to the back. And this was in the ER. So I'm like, man, I hope I'm not having a stroke, because if I am, I'm toast. And finally get back there and everything. And they're doing all sorts of, they're taking my blood, they're putting an IV in it. I'm like, I'm just here to take a test. My doctor said you guys could give me this test, and that was it. I'm stuck in this room. 9:30 p.m. rolls around, and they're like, we're going to have to keep you overnight. I said, no, all I wanted was this test. I want to leave if you can't do the test tonight, because I'm not going to pay for being here overnight. An overnight hospital stay in America is ridiculously expensive. It's something like $10,000 to $20,000. Well, if you want to leave, you have to sign a waiver saying that you are leaving against medical advice. I said, what does that mean? And I said, well, you're leaving against what we're recommending. I said, well, what happens with my insurance? Your insurance won't cover anything that you've done up to this point if you leave signing this waiver, because we told you to stay here. So basically at this point, the hospital is holding me hostage. My phone has died. I'm being forced to watch commercials on TV, which is like a nightmare. Oh my goodness, I hate cable TV, but I can't do anything on my phone. And so my wife brought up my charger and some stuff, and I'm just stuck there. They won't let me leave. So about 1:30 in the morning, they finally give me an MRI. And I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go. So the results, nothing. I've got no tumor, nothing that they can see. In my mind, I'm good to go. I'm like, I want to leave. If you leave now, you have to sign this waiver. I'm like, you did the test. That is the only reason I came to this hospital, was to have this test to see if anything was going on. You said no. Well, we want to give you a CTA scan. Okay, I don't know what a CTA scan. I thought it was a CAT scan, but apparently it's something different. So I try and sleep. They wake me up at 2:30 to take my vitals. Then about 3:15, they wake me up again to go get the CTA scan. Now this machine, basically they inject you with this liquid that makes your whole body super warm, and then you feel like you peed yourself, and it looks at the blood flow right through everything. And so that got finished up about 3:30, 3:45, and nothing. So I'm like, all right, I'm good to go now, right? You did both the tests you wanted. You have to talk to a neurologist now. What the crap, people? I came here to see if anything was going on in my head. Nothing's going on. You've done every single test. I want to go home. You have to sign this waiver. Oh my goodness gracious. The neurologist doesn't even work in the hospital. So they tell me he's going to be here in the morning. So again, this is about, 4 in the morning. What time is in the morning? He'll be here between 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning. All right. So at this point, I'm pretty ticked, but now I want to sleep. So I go to lay down. I finally fall asleep. Then they wake me up like 45 minutes later to check my vitals, and now they hook me up. So now I've got the cuff on. They've got something checking my pulse. Fall back asleep. Alarm goes off. Like, what? So I wake up. Alarm goes off. Okay. Fall back asleep. Alarm goes off again. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. So I'm sitting there. Apparently my pulse is low enough that it's below the minimum when I'm resting or not moving. And it sets off an alarm, which I cannot sleep through. So I'm strapped to this thing, right? I can't move around. The IV at this point is just covered in blood because I've been fidgeting around and moving the needle all over. So I find the nurse button. I come in. I'm like, hey, can you take the IV off? No. Well, I'm done with all the tests. All I have to see is a neurologist. Sorry, we can't. Well, can you at least take all this vital information stuff off because this thing is making it so I can't sleep. So it finally happens. But now at this point, I'm so ticked off I can't sleep. So I'm walking around the hospital, right? And I just keep bothering the nurse. I'm like, can I go home? You have to sign this waiver. When's the neurologist coming? I don't know. Can I have some food? Well, it'll be served later. So I didn't eat anything that night, which I guess is good for the diet. More on that in a second. And then they wouldn't let me in the morning. And finally, my wife finished taking the kids to school and everything. And I'm like, hey, can you pick me up some McDonald's and bring me a book? I might be here all day. They will not let me leave. So she finally gets there, probably about like 10:25 in the morning. And that's right when the neurologist shows up. He's like, yeah, everything's fine, but now I want you to go see an ophthalmologist. I don't know how to say it. Basically, a special eye doctor, not like your normal eye doctor that does glasses and stuff, but like, they know about the eyes and do surgeries and all that kind of stuff. So I'm like, okay, do I have to stay here for that? And he's like, no. I'm going to let you go. And I'm like, well, I don't understand why they wouldn't let me leave. He's like, well, yeah, they should have let you leave after all the tests and stuff. And I'm like super mad at this point. I'm trying to be as polite as possible. It's rough. And keep in mind, I'm still coughing and everything during this whole time. So finally get to leave. And then I negated completely the fact that I hadn't eaten dinner before, because the one thing that I love for dealing with stress and anger is ice cream. And I had a lot of ice cream. So this is about 4 weeks through November now, right? So we're talking about the entire month of November. I got to lift twice. I gained all the weight back. Basically, anything that happened before November was just done, right? I wasn't making any progress from November 1st until now. So this week I'm finally back into lifting. I've lifted 3 times. It's gone terribly. This coughing in the cold, the pole barn has no heat or insulation. So going out there, it's really hard to breathe. I can normally only get like 3 or 4 sets per maybe 2 exercises. And then I got to come in, I'm coughing my head out. So, right now I just was outside doing a little bit of legs, trying to get a pump in. And, my throat's a little bit raw, but as you notice, I'm not coughing a whole bunch right now. And this is a new thing that I got, a punching bag. So my aunt gave that to me on Thanksgiving, and I've used it twice now. Just got some gloves. And I think, that'll help me at least do some cardio. Unfortunately, it's way too late for this challenge. So basically, the long-winded story is November, I got to do nothing. No working out, the diet was crap, no cardio, nothing, and then all these problems on top of it. So don't expect much out of Saturday. And yeah, that's basically it. So I posted a couple pictures on Instagram, and I thought I did a good job explaining that nothing was wrong, but apparently I did not do a good job. So nothing was going wrong. I did go to the eye specialist. Nothing's wrong with my eye. They have absolutely no idea why it went black and why it kept happening, but it is like nothing that is a concern. So it's not a migraine, an ocular migraine. It's not a tumor. It's not blood flow. It's not anything that they have a concern about. And they asked me several times, has this ever happened before? And my answer was yes, it has happened before. Now, it hasn't happened in a long time, but in 2012 and 2013, when I was dieting, it did happen. And I thought then, and I still think now, it was due to blood pressure. I was dieting, I was cleaning up what I was eating, I was having a lot less sodium and a lot less pop, and I think that caused my blood pressure to drop, because once I started doing activity and everything, it went back up. But it was the same type of thing, it's just that time it was accompanied by dizziness. Now, this most recent one, there was no dizziness. And despite me telling them that this happened before, and I'm pretty sure it was just low blood pressure, they did not care one bit. And then while I was at the hospital, it started out pretty low, and then it got progressively increased, and they're like, well, it's going up. I'm like, yeah, because I'm ticked off. You just came in here and said you were holding me hostage. You would not let me leave. What do you think is going to happen to my blood pressure? Yeah. So I'm still mad about it. And of course, this happened, right before December. So now I'm worried I'm going to have this huge, gigantic hospital bill coming. I have no idea how much that's going to cost me because, I've got the deductible, which I've put a lot towards that with all the rheumatoid arthritis and stuff that I've been doing so far this year, trying to figure out what's wrong with me. But then I still have to, after the deductible and everything's met, I still have to pay 20% because my healthcare is not super great. And I have no idea how much this is going to cost me. And I'm super angry about it. I didn't know that this was going to spiral into this huge thing, or else I would have told my doctor, if you want me to get an MRI of my eye, just set me up an appointment with one of the, it's not a hospital, it's like an MRI clinic. So you go in there and the only thing they do is MRIs. It might take you a couple weeks to get in there, but it's not going to cost everything. It's like $100 after the insurance. And I've had that for my shoulder and my ankle. I would have been fine with that because I was only worried because of the other pain that I was having. And once he told me it has nothing to do with each other and it's probably not your medicine, I had no worries. Now this cough though, that might be my medicine. So either I have bronchitis because my son just got diagnosed that he has that, or it's my medicine because one of the side effects of sulfasalazine is that it can cause cold-like symptoms, including congestion and a persistent cough. So I can't get into the rheumatologist for about 2 more weeks, but we'll see what's going on there. And I had blood work done. You have to get blood work every month, basically, while you're on this medicine because of all the potential complications. But I really feel bad about this challenge. I was really looking forward to seeing what I could do and how well I could go. And through November, I was giving a lot to it. And I thought I was doing pretty well. And I was excited about what was going to happen in December. Then November happened like after the first, and everything just fell apart. So I have zero motivation right now to diet. I'm really over everything. I'm not able to get in the gym and do what I want because it's so much time not lifting. So I'm trying to build back up. And essentially, I'm really disappointed in myself that I wasn't able to give this challenge as much as I thought it deserved and as much as I wanted to put in there. But, it is what it is. You just got to keep lifting, and hopefully my foot heals, as I mentioned in the last video. Next competition is going to be delayed. I'm not sure when the plantar fascia is going to heal up and I'm going to be able to walk without any sort of pain. I'm not sure what's going on with my body right now, how the RA is doing. Hopefully it'll stabilize. But yeah, I think that's good enough excuses, right? And for those of you who are worried, like I said, I thought I explained it, but hopefully you all understood, like, it was nothing serious. I was just super ticked off because I was held hostage by a hospital and they were milking me for all the insurance money. And I hate the fact that they want to get all the money from the insurance and doctors make you do a bunch of unnecessary tests because they don't want to get sued. Those two things are a huge problem because my personal doctor made me go get this test. Well, he recommended it. See, he couldn't have made me, and I didn't know better, and I should have listened. But he recommended that I go do this test because he didn't want me to sue him if I was having a stroke. Makes sense. But yeah, it was not worth it. I really wish I could go back and undo that. There's not very many things that I wish I could go back and undo, but that's one of them. I would not have gone to the hospital because now I'm just irritated and I'm going to have a huge bill for nothing. So basically I went in, had a bunch of tests. They wouldn't let me leave to find out, hey, I'm perfectly fine and there's nothing wrong with me. And I have a brain. Yeah, I have one. I have documented evidence that I have a brain. My dad was very disappointed in that. But that is it for this video. I will see you all on Saturday. Have a great day and go lift something heavy.